Every day, there are around 2,600 kids in and out of Grandview. Some live close enough to walk or ride a bike. The majority of juniors and seniors might drive. But what about everyone else? The bus, a way for students that live farther away to get to and from school safely. There is a lot that goes on behind the scenes of our district's transportation. To help explain, we brought in the Department of Transportation's director, Gary Thompson, to elaborate on what their job is.
Our job is taking care of kids, getting them to and from school, and that's it. It's really our job with this is to create an experience where kids can enjoy it. So I think that's always a place we can improve on.
The bus is a great form of transportation, but like everything, it's not perfect. The biggest issue students are fighting are cramped and overcrowded buses.
Yeah, the bus is pretty cramped. I sometimes find myself kind of hanging off the seat.
Yeah, my bus is pretty cramped. I'd say it negatively affects my ride because there's just oftentimes not enough seats open or just that you can't pick or you want to sit by. It also depends on how early you get there.
If you get there early enough, you get a choice of seat. Well, I wouldn't say my bus is super cramped. It just really depends. When everybody's on there, then yeah. And that affects the bus ride because it makes it super unenjoyable. We have to sit 3 to a seat. That is so outrageous.
Though there are problems like having to sit 3 to a seat or sitting on the edge of seats due to overcrowding on buses, the district has taken notice of these problems.
Yeah, and that's definitely a serious concern. So oftentimes in the beginning of the year, you'll see some buses routes that may be overcrowded. And typically at high school, we only want 2 kids per seat just because they're young adults.
There are certain things that the district does when overcrowding becomes a problem, so it is at least safe to transport students to and from school.
Typically what happens is our driver will let us know that there's an overload, and so we'll find another route or a bus that's there has a route that's close to try to take those kids to that stop. What happens is then we'll take that information and sometimes create new stops or a new route. Obviously a new route means you need a driver to do that, and we're currently 40 drivers short. We can create a route, but there's no one there to drive it.
There are some problems that prevent transportation from being efficient, especially at the beginning of the year when it comes to overcrowding.
It's something we try to address, and it usually happens in the first few weeks. Part of that problem is we show up to a bus stop and we know that there's 92 eligible bus riders at that stop, but then maybe only 12 get on. And so there's sometimes where we have some buses that are really light, have the opposite issues. And so as we work through it, we try to tweak it and adjust some of the routes.
Overall, students are grateful we have a form of transportation to and from school, but wish it was a little more enjoyable. This has been Ryan for GBTV.
If I can avoid it, I will try, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
I don't like the bus, and I can't wait till I can get my license so I can drive to school and not have to take the bus.
My overall feeling of riding the bus is pretty positive. It's nice to have a way of getting home that isn't either parents are walking, and it's nice to be able to see your friends after school before you get home.